guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll talk about the Two Towers. This is the second part of the book, The Lord of the Rings. In this book we see that the fellowship which had begun in the Fellowship of the Ring has already broken down. Gandalf, who was the leader of their group, has already died. He had already died in the last book. Boromir, who was one of them, died again. Merry and Pippin have been kidnapped by the orcs, who are these dark and ugly soldiers of the dark powers, be it Mordor or be it other dark powers like Isengard. So Frodo and Sam have taken off on their own because Frodo thinks that he should not put others into danger for the quest that is by default his responsibility. And Aragorn, Gimli and Legolas begin this race against time to save their friends Merry and Pippin. This book is basically where the quest actually begins. It is not a quest per se, because herein they are not going to search for something, but they're going to destroy something. But you see what I mean. The adventure begins in this book. The story becomes very dark all of a sudden. Merry and Pippin face real death in front of them. They have been lugged around, they have been hurt, and they've been going without food, healthy food, for a long time. Legolas and Gimli and Aragorn are sure that they will not succeed, and at the same time they just cannot give up everything and not look for their friends. And then Frodo and Sam, they have no idea what they're doing, but they're still going on because they have no other choice. So we see that this is a very dark time for all of them. But a lot of good things also happen. So Gandalf, who had died in the previous book, comes back wiser and more powerful than before. Friendships and loyalties are tested and their intensity is deepened. So we see Gimli and the interact. What really touched my heart was the interaction between Gimli and the hobbits Merry and Pippin, because really in the previous books Gimli had never shown any kind of affection towards them, and here we see the extent of his worry that he had felt when his friends had gone missing. And then we're introduced, and of course then there is this loyalty between Samwise and Frodo. So Samwise is extremely loyal to his master Frodo, and he would do anything for his master. He would give his life, and he trudges on and goes on motivating his master so that they're able to complete their quest. Newer characters are introduced. So we see the Ents, who are basically the tree people. So we see what consequences the rise of the power of Sauron is having on environment as well through them. We meet Gollum, who becomes the unlikely ally of Frodo, and whom Frodo shows mercy because he understands that Gollum is so far gone in his quest for power and has been so far corrupted by the ring that there's no coming back for him. So we see the extent of corruption that power can do in a human being, and then that we see through the character of Saruman as well, who was once a very wise person and who is now completely lost in his madness for power and his quest for the ring. We see these things, these relationships come together. Then we also see how new lands are coming up. We get to know about new lands. They are introduced, like for example the Land of Lohan, their history, their kings, and they have an important role to play in this whole battle against the dark, and how they themselves are in doubt. They don't know which side to choose, but at the same time they are also going through their own problems. So a whole new dimension, a whole new land in the Middle Earth is opened up in this book. Also, there are new other characters as well, like for example Faramir. We are introduced to Faramir, who is Boromir's brother, for the first time, and he seems to have a lot of potential. There can be a lot of character development which might happen in the Return of the King. I don't know yet, but he is also a very good character. But what stood very strongly to me was the character of Samwise. So Samwise, we see in the last book, was the servant of Frodo, and he came with Frodo because he was extremely loyal to his master. But in this book we see that Sam comes into an individual character, comes to become an individual of his own. he begins to voice his opinion, begins to trust his judgments, and he is the motivating factor behind Frodo. So maybe Frodo is the protagonist in this book because to an extent because he's inherited the ring, and he's the ring bearer. But it seems like Sam is the one who is making Frodo go ahead. Sam is the one who is keeping him encouraged and motivated. He is the force behind Frodo's being able to move ahead. So Sam plays a very important role in this book, and I'm liking him even more now. But at the same time, in spite of all these things that have been happening, I would say that I'm still disappointed with the fact that there are no female characters. That really hurts my heart, because women are not represented in this fantastic world, which is really sad. Also, we still don't see any glimpse of the common people. They have all been shuttered off to these safe places. So apparently the women and the children have all been sent off to safer places, and the men are all ready to fight. We never get to know the common people otherwise. These are mentioned as asides, that is it. So these 2 points remain a sad point. Apart from this, there's also one tiny thing that I would like to add, which I should have added in the last book itself. That is, the language of the Lord of the Rings takes some time to get used to, because this book was written decades ago. The English language has changed quite some bit, so it takes some time for a reader to get into the book. So once you start reading, don't get disheartened thinking you're not able to follow the book, or you're not able to get into it within quotes, because the language is a little old and a little flowery, but bear with it. Half into the Fellowship of the Ring, you will get into this, you'll get the language. So yeah, because like I said, it's a little old. It takes some getting used to. Apart from that, this book is fantastic. It is one of the best sequels I've ever read as far as sequels go, which is ironic because this is actually not a sequel. Lord of the Rings, as we know, was one single book. It's just the part. But anyways, it's a very good read. It makes one feel a lot more wiser than he or she was before, and one should definitely read it because it gives a different perspective into a whole new different world. So do read this book, or do let me know how you feel about this book, or what book you're currently reading in the comment section below. And if you've liked this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.